Welcome Libra, this is Regina from Pacific Tarot getting ready to do your full moon in Taurus reading. The full moon is also a lunar eclipse on the 28th of October, which simply amplifies its energy into the surrounding weeks rather than days, as is customary with a full moon that ordinarily represents a culmination and still represents a culmination of energy, effort, or insight that you've gained. I have laid out a past, present, and future reading. I'll clarify with the Velvet Moon Tarot and finish up with a couple of oracle cards and ask if you find that you're enjoying this reading as I proceed. If you find it useful, please like this video. Please share it with someone who may find it useful as well. I welcome your comments below as I enjoy those, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. Your support in every form, including the time that you're spending here with me now, is greatly appreciated. So let's get started, Libra, with your overall energy, the Eight of Cups. This is you gaining a vision, gaining an aspiration, a desire to move towards a significant challenge, something that is critical to your experience in this life. You have developed and built many profound relationships that you recognize that you have gained all that can be gained from these relationships. It's not about having used up friends or family. It's about recognizing that you've learned all you can learn, that this relationship frame is not comfortable or feel safe or familiar with your desire to move on, and instead poses a kind of limitation or restriction to your pursuit of this new challenge. This challenge is what you know to be the thing that will fulfill you, that will provide the contentment or the satisfaction that you've done all that you can do, that you are reaching for your fullest potential in a way that may be fearful or threatening to your relationships, but you are willing to sacrifice that for this challenge, for climbing this mountain. In your past, we have the Four of Swords, the Death card, and the Hanged Man. Yeah. It's interesting, Libra. This full moon is representing a kind of stasis for you, a moment to pause, to stop, to evaluate, to understand not only what you've learned from a series of perhaps failures. Maybe these failures are recent and connected up with relationships that you feel are stagnant, are not able or willing to grow with you as you desire growth, but also that you are learning that these obstacles, these relationships are built on beliefs and your need for approval or permission in a way that you no longer understand it's necessary. Having learned the lessons that are to be learned, you are gaining in your perspective. You have gained the perspective sufficient to encourage you to pursue this new challenge, to expand your emotional experience. And this requires a lot of letting go on your part. This is demanding that you release these relationships in a way that acknowledges their inability to serve you where you are now, and that encourage you to elevate your perception so that you're able to recognize the opportunities for growth that are around you. This represents a spiritual foundation that you are establishing in your willingness to let go of the past, particularly release old relationships, things perhaps that once made you very happy, that fulfilled you, but no longer do that. And the need for you to grow, expand, take a higher view in order to be prepared for the opportunities that you are now open to. In the present, we have the Devil card, the Nine of Cups, and the Four of Cups. There is so much of what you individually are experiencing that is being shared with the entire collective. The need for rebirth, for shedding an old skin, for releasing an old version of yourself that is no longer relevant to your new goals, your new aspirations, the way that you desire more satisfaction, more emotional contentment and pleasure, even joy in the experiences that you're undertaking. Mm-hmm. Simply moving towards a new challenge is giving you the sense of satisfaction and stretching yourself that you need. It's further challenging the understanding you have of what has been expected of you and your compliance with that. You have long been bored with the role that you have assumed in life, perhaps a role you've been conditioned to assume, responsibilities that you were told were your obligation, even as they served others to the exclusion of yourself. So this is really one in which you're interrogating your own framework, your own desire, and you are activating quite in a really powerful way things that you desire. They're not necessarily excluding others or excluding the needs or desires of others, but until now you have rarely allowed yourself the opportunity to understand that, to try that, to experience that, so that you are prioritizing your desires, your goals, the things that make you feel satisfied and that allow you to stretch towards your potential in a way that you have been practicing. You have been on this path for a while of rebirth. This is not a new cycle. You're at a new stage of release. And my experience of healing is that it is cyclical. It is an upward spiral, and that we repeat or revisit, rather, experiences, relationships, evaluating relationships and experiences differently as we gain in greater spiritual strength and clarity. So you have been reviewing your relationships in the way that you are now finding success in aligning yourself with your desire state, practicing how to feel good, practicing choosing things that feel good rather than things that are required. And this is another element of the way you're setting up a cultural or emotional foundation layered with your spiritual foundation. You're actually practicing your new beliefs and with regard to your heart, your desire state, and understanding that what you are now receiving as manifestations may not look the way you thought they would, as you have slipped into a place or you've moved into a place actively where you are evaluating what feels good for you. You're not waiting for others to provide you with something that you have asked for, that you believe can only be supplied to you by someone else. You've learned, you're practicing this, and it feels weird. It feels uncomfortable. You're not used to it. You're used to abiding by the rules, complying with the same rules and expectations that everyone else complies to. And you're slowly individuating to honor your own needs, your own desires, your own talents and gifts, and your right to feel happiness, to feel joy, to feel satisfaction in doing what is right for you. There is a feeling of exuberance, joy, completion that you are receiving as a result of this new practice, this new spiritual practice, allowing yourself to be different than you've been before, to move away from the perception that others have of you and to step into a perception that reflects your own reflects the opportunities, the abundant opportunities around you to meet your potential. In the future, we have the Sun, the Magician, and the Chariot. Wow. Yeah, this is a very necessary step. It is not so much painful. Your healing is not so much painful as it may seem tedious, as it may seem a little unexpected. You were expecting a little more, perhaps, of this new practice that is allowing you to shed these relationships, and that in and of itself is deeply challenging. It's deeply even painful to elect loss. Is not something that may feel comfortable to you. It is a deeper kind of balancing of your experience that you are getting used to, even if it seems boring, if it seems predictable, if it's disappointing in a superficial way. You're already receiving the benefits in a profound emotional way, so that you are now motivated to continue further, to stop, to no longer force yourself into appearing like other people, force yourself into putting out the fires of others' conflicts, forcing yourself to not be the fixer of your environment, but instead to allow yourself to motivate yourself through this powerful, wonderful feeling of emotional richness and joy in this rebirth that you're experiencing and this discovery of new aspects of your talent and your potential, that you are moving towards that real liberation that allows you to be in your talent, in your joy. There's a reason why this child is on horseback. This child represents, I don't want to say the inner child because that's really cheesy, but the core of you, the core of your talents, perhaps talents and gifts that you only joyfully demonstrated or enjoyed as a child when you were not judged, you had no agenda, and you simply played creatively, so that creative play, that enjoyment in no agenda is something that you are seeking again and experiencing again, knowing that your potential lies in developing those gifts, that feeling of joy. And that feeling of joy is not frivolous. It actually uplifts your entire environment, your community, your team. Others in your relationships are illuminated as to the sacred nature of the work that you do, the service you provide. And this is in turn activating your desire, your will, your need to create something that reflects this talent, that is built upon this talent and this sense of joy in being who you are. I'm going to clarify the Devil card in your present with the King of Pentacles and the Magician, a repeat. I love this. So much of who you were in the past was a person that, or even what you're struggling with in the future is this wonderful uber sense of responsibility you had for others. This could be a community, this could be a project, an organization, an effort that you were in control of, that you mastered, that you organized in a way. And that focus on your stability and security in many ways has already been achieved by you. It may not look like phenomenal wealth. It may look like phenomenal wealth. Whatever security you have gained for yourself, whatever prosperity you've enjoyed has allowed you to be generous, inasmuch as you now are able to show others how you've done it. And this may be part of the magic of the magician in your life in the present moment, that you're actually able to make transparent your process of mastery, your process of gaining wealth, of growing abundance, of determining what prosperity or wealth looks like for you and how it is achievable. So this is reinforcing that out of the former path you've been on, out of the way that you're able to flip the sense of conformity to the needs of others, to a sense of your own creative mastery over something that reflects you and your talents, is part of your spiritual mission. It's part of what makes you happy. It's part of what lights you up and brings joy into the work that you do. I'm going to pull a Soul's Journey Oracle card and remind you that you can like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. And I've pulled the card Trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. And I'm also going to pull a Language of Flowers. And these oracle cards, I usually, as many of you may know, I leave for your meditation to prompt your meditation, not your medication. And I pulled the Forget-Me-Not from the Language of Flowers, and the key word is remembrance. Memories and the past hold the key. Thank you so much, Libra. Until next time, namaste.